was a difficult choice. I must admit, though, I am surprised. A woman you obviously cared little for, had contempt for even, over stopping a terrorist bombing. Oh, if I had been in your shoes, well, I don't know what I would have done.
If you'd been in my shoes, you would have been running for the hills.
Ooh.
So you blew up a museum, murdered innocent people. I still don't see how this little stunt helps you unless you plan to corner the market on terrorism.
Really? That's because you have a very narrow view of events.
With someone obsessed with corporate profits over world stability, I'd say your narrow view trumps mine.
Tragedy in the wake of the thwarted terror attack on the rule of Karsu.
I can't expect you to keep up with every news report. I have an entire division devoted to it, plus my ace and all. This bombing will reorganize terrorist legislation in the European Union.
So what? How does that benefit you?
The reorganization benefits Helbeck. Surveillance, airport screening tech, weapons. Mr. Marburg's little crusade in Rome has reminded Europe what fear is.
So those people in the museum that died.
That wasn't the plan, but at least you saved one of them, didn't you? I certainly hope you're not blaming me for something you could have prevented, Mike. Oh, how did that turn out, by the way? Saving the damsel in distress and all.
And when you come back, I'll be gone. I don't want you to try and find me. I didn't like you much when I met you, and now you've done something even worse to me. I worry you don't think far enough ahead to see what's coming. Marburg won't stop looking for you. And if I'm there when you two meet again, he'll kill you, Mike. Whatever he planned in the museum, that's just the beginning. Goodbye, Mike. I'm sorry.
This is it? After Rome and Moscow, I was expecting something a little more upscale.
Stop being a smartass and go use the shower.
Are you sure water actually comes out of the pipes here?
Just trust me on this, Mike.
Are you sure about this?
Positive. Trust me.
Okay.
See? What did I tell you?
Now this is more like it.
I'm glad you like it. Now that you've made it to Taipei, what are your plans?
Mostly I figured I'd punch somebody until answers came out.
That's very straightforward. Any ideas on who you might punch?
I've got 3 leads to start with. This Stephen Heck guy seems like he knows what's going on in Taipei. He might be able to answer some questions.
Be careful, Mike. I've checked my databanks, and I can't find any evidence that Stephen Heck has ever worked for the CIA.
I'll be on my guard. There's also that anomalous data trail from Shahid's system. Any luck tracing it down?
I managed to follow it back to a place in the warehouse district. I'm forwarding the address to you now. What's the final lead?
Simple. Follow the money. Shahid was funneling large amounts of money to a front corporation for the White Oak Mountain Triad. I think I can persuade them to tell me why.
Sounds like you've got everything figured out.
That's just the kind of guy I am.
Just be careful.
Always. Here to see the Red Lion. I'm a friend of the Sheik. You must be Hong Sure, boss of the White Oak Mountain Triad. Sorry, legitimate businessman. You're connected to Ali Shahid.
Interpol has been leveling that same accusation for 15 years. If they haven't been able to prove it, why should I believe you can, Mr.
Thornton. Mike Thornton. You might have heard of me. I've been around the block a few times. Rome, Moscow.
So have my prostitutes, but I never bothered to learn their names.
You never learned your own mother's name? That's harsh.
What is it you want from me, Mr. Thornton? I have no interest in bantering with an American cowboy. It upsets my digestion. Please, get to the point.
I know Shahid was funneling money to you, and I know someone is planning to assassinate Ronald's son. I need to know what those two things have in common.
And I need to find a woman who will love me for the real me.
Listen, I'm on a deadline here, so cut the crap and tell me what I need to know.
Mr. Thornton, a man in my position does not get to be a man in my position without knowing the value of a good trade.
I can understand that. I suppose the question is what you need.
Some of my lieutenants seem to think they would do better without my loving guidance and gentle hand. They have set up shop in a disreputable part of town. Now, if you were to discourage them, I will tell you what I know.
Or, plan B, I start shooting you in places you didn't know you had until I get some answers.
Yes, I'm sure you're capable of such a thing. But it is very hard to torture someone while his bodyguards are shooting you repeatedly.
Well, when you put it that way, it's hard to argue. All right, Mr. Hong.
I knew you would see the wisdom of this deal, Mr. Thornton. Contact me again when my wayward children have been dealt with, huh? Oh, and Mr. Thornton.
Yeah?
Don't call me Mr. Hong.
Okay, I'm not far from the market, near the slums.
I'm picking up some activity near your position. I don't think Hong Shirley is the whole story.
The head of an organized crime syndicate not telling the truth? Gee, that's a stretch.
Stretch or not, it looks like you're going to see some heavier resistance up ahead.